I'm here with, state your name.
My name's Adam Prager, NWC Collector.
NWC Collector, and how long have you been collecting this stuff for? Because behind us right now, there is like a plethora of like NWC merchandise from like 1990.
Yeah,
like this is insane to look at right now.
It's probably about 10 years. This is probably about 10 years of stuff. I've been collecting for probably 25, 30 years. My first, just I used to collect displays, like store displays, the retail displays. And my first one I ever had, what I think was in 1998, was when I moved to Florida. And it was a full-size Blasto. Remember the game Blasto?
Oh, really?
Yeah, for PS1. And that was the first thing I ever kind of like gravitated towards before the, back when the movie stores were open, we used to write our names on the back of the movie posters and the big cardboard displays, and they would give them to whoever put their name on it. So
awesome.
That's how I kind of got started back then. And then once 2004, 2005 came around, I was doing a lot of going to the swap shop, flipping, buying games. And once 2012, 2014 came around, I kind of got away from the wall of games and wanted to get more into the oddities, the things that people don't get to see every day, because 90% of collectors, they have walls of games, but they don't have those unique, really weird things that have a story behind it, And almost every item I have here has a story behind it.
Yeah, and that was the thing, like, we were talking a little bit, and you were just, like, going through some of the, like, oddball stuff that were in here, like, even the passes, because I've only seen maybe just some of the competition players, like, have those badges, but, like, for photo press, and I even mentioned that before, where it's, like, it is so bizarre to, like, see all of that in the case.
Yeah, it's a lot. I have 13 out of the 14 badges that were produced. To my knowledge, there could be more, but like I've been hunting this stuff so long that you kind of have an idea of how many are out there.
Oh yeah.
I'm missing just the one orange working crew badge, I think it is. But I have everything from the guest VIP badge to an all access badge, like your vendor passes for your conventions. And then even right down in there, I have Howard Phillips, if you're familiar with Howard Phillips. He started Nintendo Fun Club, Nintendo Power. He was instrumental in the early days of Nintendo.
And he had comic strips with Nestor.
Captain N. So that actually is one of his original. He was given 3 access badges to walk around when he went to the 20 or 30 different events that he went to.
Oh, nice.
So that was something I tracked down. It was on Nintendo 8 years ago. They sold it. And then I just tracked down the owner, and that's kind of how you have to do it with this stuff. You have to, it's like being a bounty hunter, It's not just going to a garage
sniping it,
and sifting through the dirt, You have to cold call people. You have to send letters out to people and really put yourself out there, in order to get it.
Yeah. So, like, a rough estimate, like, could you give, like, a rough estimate, like, how much have you think you've spent, like, in total for, like, the shirts, like, letters, and just, like, anything else merchandise from the show?
0.
Really?
This is all from flipping.
Oh, gotcha.
Anytime I buy something and flip it, I turn it around and turn it into something else. So none of my personal money has ever been put into this in 20 years.
That's incredible.
So, like, a lot of this stuff, when I went to purchase it, like, my NWC cost tens of thousands of dollars. I used things like I had a Super Nintendo fiber optic. I had a couple employee awards. So I would use those items and leverage it in trade in order to get to where I am. So, to answer the question, I've spent hundreds of thousands, but
wow,
the money came from nothing, kind of, so to say.
Yeah, so it pretty much balances us out altogether, yeah.
Like I had some extra paperwork, and I gave it to a friend for a certain price, and I went around and bought that jacket for, I think I paid $2,500 for it.
$2,500, wow.
I think somewhere around there, maybe like $2,800. I think he got me for a couple hundred more, but somewhere in that ballpark. So, to answer your question, I pay money for it, but it all came from a pot of nothing. When I started in 2004 flipping, I would go to the swap shop, and my first story was that I picked up I only had $20 to my name, and I picked up 7 games for $3 a piece. He gave them to me 7 games. There was a guy that was closing down an old Blockbuster. He was a manager. And there was a sealed Final Fantasy VII in there. I didn't know anything about PlayStation because I'm a Nintendo guy.
Yeah.
Went home to eBay. I was doing eBay back when there was money orders, like a long time ago. And what happened was I put it on eBay for $275. So we bought it right away. Wow. This is 04. I'm 04. I was like 23 years old. I'm like,
just making this crazy amount
I had
of money.
$20 to my name, and I made $400 or $300. So I went back to the guy with that $300, and I bought everything he had. CIB, Mike Tyson's punch out, this, that, and that. That couple hundred turned into thousands,
Thousands
and
of
then I go,
dollars,
wow, okay, we got something here. And I just, always bought 3 items, sold 2, put 1 in the collection, and just always got my money back, So
Yeah, that's
it's a real
incredible.
flipping, hardcore mentality you have to it's what a lot of these guys here do, all the vendors that are here.
Yeah, and it's a heavy grind because you're always like either on Facebook Marketplace or somewhere like Nintendo Age and just trying to see if you can find that last thing that you are missing for the collection. But
It's a rat race.
yeah, pretty much. And one thing I have to ask is like, of all of the things that you have gotten, whether it's like the t-shirts or the trophies, like what was the one hard piece of collectible memorabilia that you'd say was the hardest to get at one time?
The hardest to get,
Yes.
jumpsuit.
Really?
That jumpsuit has a nice story behind it. There's probably, I don't know exactly, but I would say under 10 out there.
Under
Probably
10.
Under 10, I would say, between the different colors. There's always some that are hidden in collections that you've never seen before.
Oh, yeah.
But for the most part, there's probably about 10 of them. And that one was found by a garbage picker guy out of Reno, Nevada. And he was picking, a landlord was emptying out some rental units that people were being evicted. And all the stuff was sitting in the middle of the breezeway between the 2 buildings. And he had picked up a pair of Nike shoes, an old noodle maker, like a little cast iron,
Seriously?
noodle maker, and he saw this jumpsuit under the trash. So he filled up the trash bag, went back to his unit to go dump the stuff in the house to come back to get more. And it's a great story because there's 2 kids playing out front of the apartment complex before he left. And when he came back, the apartment complex was set on fire.
Oh,
The 2 kids accidentally
God.
burned down the entire complex. So 30 minutes later, and that
Wow.
jumpsuit would have been in the trash. It smelled so bad. It was literally in a dumpster when the guy found it. I had it in one of those yellow plastic tubs in my car when I left the airport from purchasing it. It was in a yellow tub, in a trash bag, and it still smelled my car for about 2 or 3 weeks afterwards.
Wow.
I mean, it smelled like raw sewage. And it was about $340 I paid to have a professional cleaner take care of it. And it got out almost everything. It still smells good.
It's amazing. I mean, we'll get like shots of it, but just everything in here is like in really good, pristine condition. Like even what was it, like the competition shirts?
Yeah, that's a competition shirt from I believe it was the 11 and under.
Yeah.
They had 3 different sets of age groups. They had the 11 and under, the 12 to 17, and the 18 and over. So they had 30 from each age group. And there was a yellow shirt, a teal shirt, and a blue shirt, bluish color. And there's 30 of each of those out there. So, as far as the clothing and stuff goes, that's probably one of the more rare pieces of clothing because there was only 30 out there. I've only seen like 2 or 3 of them. I've only seen like one blue one, and I don't even think I've seen the teal one.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the other ones. I've basically just only seen these, and this is like first time actually being close by to one.
Yeah, like that's probably in the 2,000 range. That shirt. That's about how rare it is, and that's like real value. That's not like
it's like a
value.
rough guess or anything.
No,
like
it's
that.
more like I've had someone offer me close to that before, and I've said
gotcha.
no, and they said, all right, well, let me know when you're ready to sell,
It's incredible. Once again, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah,
It was a
thank you,
pleasure
man.
to talk to you,
Thank
man.
so much, man. Thank you.